Our final presentation for this course is a peer review presentation, and it is what is the role of Minister of Health in Ebola outbreak. Health Minister responsibility. The slide talks about what is the responsibility for health ministers. The health ministry is a part of the government and has responsibility to its office. So the following are the responsibilities: formulate a health policy, setting standards for delivery of the health care in a country, monitor and evaluate health service by state, city, hospitals, etc., allocation of resources, making proposal, budget, expenses for the year. Also, declaration of the public health emergency during an outbreak, provide a framework for efficient procurement, distribution, and the management of the resources during outbreak disasters, and ensure that the funds are not misused and make accountability. Ebola is a deadly disease caused by a virus. 5 strains of Ebola virus are found, 4 of them which can affect humans. Symptoms are high fever, headache, joint and muscle pain, and weakness. In 2018, there is a reported outbreak of Ebola in Democratic Republic of Congo. A recent Ebola outbreak in 2018 had 54 cases as of today, and Ebola mortality is averaged from 25 to 90% over the case of history of its outbreak around the world. So, what is the role of a health minister in the outbreak of Ebola? The first thing is the role, which is the role of health minister, is to declare a public health emergency in the Democratic Republic of Congo. At federal level, the declaration is caused by imminent disease such as Ebola that may result in a potential death, and it is very much appropriate to declare the health emergency in a country. During the emergency declaration, the authorities hold the power to issue certain regulations such as prohibition of travel to or from the area of the risk to protect the general population. Also, investigation and identification of the patients who are affected and who are population in that area. Regulation of distribution and availability of essential goods, services, and resources, authorization to use emergency funds in Congo, and preparation for events for general population. The second approach that can be taken by the health ministry is to investigate and research the disease with collaboration of CDC, WHO, and the government research team will investigate the disease and to find out the causative virus, in this case Ebola. The experiment and develop vaccines to have protection against the virus through clinical trials. Investigate to reveal the risk and the transmission of the disease for education to prevent the spread. Number 3, to control the outbreak of the disease. There are many ways to control the outbreak of the disease. For the first and foremost is quarantine. The quarantine is to restrain a restraint that is placed upon the movement of the Ebola cases. Those who are affected should be placed on isolation with special precaution of mask and gown. Those who are suspected to be cases can be quarantined in their house with limited visitation until proven to be otherwise. Close air travel and the area and use screening questionnaires at the airport to find out suspected cases. Mass immunization. After the research and investigation has concluded the effective development of the vaccines Every health individual should be immunized to develop an immunity against Ebola virus. It is an effective way to prevent spread of communicable disease. More there is the immunization, the less chance that it will be spread to other population. And finally, the education about the transmission of the disease is very important. Ebola is transmitted through food, bats, and other animals such as the monkeys and apes. So Ebola spread from human to human through transmission of direct blood. Therefore, reduction of wildlife risk factors such as infected food, bats, monkeys, and apes, and consumption of outdoor food will increase the transmission. So we need to educate the population about how it can be transmitted and take precaution of so we don't infect ourselves. Using gloves, hand sanitizer for healthcare professionals when in coming in contact with patient, taking precautions to not to spread it. And finally, collaboration with other officers. The control of Ebola can be successful after collaboration with other officers, such as chief medical officers, animal health officers, district health officers, and WHO director. In effort to control Ebola, it is a duty of the health minister to facilitate communication and respect for peers and work together to contain and eliminate the disease once and for all for the good of the mankind. Thank you very much.